Hello guys, my name is Paul and this is my sports channel and welcome back guys. I'm very happy to see you again. During the weekend I really did not have that much time, so I'm posting this video on Monday even though I originally wanted to post it during the weekend. But today guys, we will be naming the best player from each NHL team so far this season. So this means during the 2020-2021 season. So guys, let's just jump right into it because we have 31 teams to go. That's a pretty lot, so I don't want this really to be that long of a video. So let's just jump right into it guys. And also guys, please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so guys. It will really help me a lot, and yeah, thank you very much guys for that. And right now, without further ado, let's just start with number one team, and that's Nashville Predators. So the best player for the Predators so far this season, according to me, is the guy from Sweden. I hope you can see my writing well. Filip Forsberg. And his stats, I don't know if I will fit it here, but 32 games played, 11 goals, 17 assists. So for Filip Forsberg, pretty solid season. He has been a very good out there for Nashville Predators. He has been their leader so far. Also Victor Arvidsson playing pretty well. And I really wanted to put UC Saros there, because UC Saros this season, I do believe he has a save percentage of over 92%, so that's pretty solid. And I was just choosing between Filip Forsberg and UC Saros, but at the end I decided to go with a Forsberg. So yeah, that's for Nashville. For Detroit, probably quite a surprise maybe for you guys, but I decided to go with Roby Fabry. So Fabry with double B, and his stats so far: 23 games played, 9 goals, 6 assists. That's a grand total of 15 points. So I did not go with Dylan Larkin. I decided to go with Roby Fabry, and he was really very good for the Red Wings this season so far. So yeah, he even surprised me. He has been playing very well, so he's my best player for the Detroit Red Wings so far this season. So what about the Colorado Avalanche? Of course, the Avalanche, one of the best teams in the league, one of the biggest contenders to win Stanley Cup this year. Just very quickly, guys, this may be also quite a surprise for you, but I decided to go with a goaltender actually, not with Nathan MacKinnon nor with Mikko Rantanen. I decided to go with Philip Grubauer, and Philip Grubauer so far 25 games played. He has a save percentage of 92.9, which is almost 93%. And I'll maybe write it here. His goals against average is only 1.74. So actually his stats are really good. And he has been playing a lot. Quite a lot. 25 games played so far already. That's a lot. And he has a save percentage of almost 93%, which is great. Goals against average, only 1.74. He has been absolutely phenomenal for the Avalanche this season. Also, Nathan MacKinnon as well, guys. You could argue for MacKinnon. You could. I think he has been very well. He has been playing very well this season. So you could go with Grubauer. You could go with MacKinnon. You could even go with Mikko Rantanen or with Cale Makar. I just decided to go with a Grubauer. Okay, let's just make it a little bit quicker, guys. I don't want to spend that much time here. Not to make that video that long. So from the Dallas Stars, I decided to choose actually Joe Pavelski, the former captain of the San Jose Sharks. John Pavelski so far playing very well this season. 28 games played. He has 28 points. He's averaging point per game, 14 goals scored, 14 assists. Especially the beginning of the season was very good for the Pavelski. The latter stage is not that good, but he has been overall very good for the Stars. From the Sharks, maybe also kind of a surprise, but it is none other than Evander Kane, who, as we all know, currently has some financial problems, even before the season, but when we are speaking only about his play on the ice, he has been pretty darn good so far this season. He's leading Sharks with 29 games played, 12 goals, 14 assists. That's 26 points. Pretty good year for Evander Kane. And Chicago Blackhawks, guys, probably to no one's surprise, another Kane. This time it's Patrick Kane. And Patrick Kane, one of the front runners for that Hart Trophy. 32 games played, 12 goals and 30 assists. That's 42 points in 32 games. And guys, I just put, to just make this clear, I just put these teams almost randomly, okay? So really there was nothing like I was putting it by division. No, I just put them on the board randomly. But this is a funny thing, right? That we have two Canes below one another. Guys, it was not an intention. I'm being honest. Really, this was not my intention. But it just happened to do so, which is very funny, right? Two Canes before Evander and Patrick Kane right below each other, right next to each other. So yeah, that's kind of funny, I think. But yeah, Patrick Kane, 42 points, 32 games played. These are just phenomenal stats. One of his best seasons, if not the best in his career. For Anaheim, of course, Trevor Zegras playing very well so far, but he has played only 12 games, I do believe. So I decided to go with Max Comtois. Okay, I decided to go with Max Comtois. So far for Comtois this season, 32 games played, 9 goals and 10 assists. So this is Max Comtois. He has been playing very good. And yeah, there are also some other players, for example, Rickard Rakell, that have more points than Comtois, but I think that it has been a very good season for him. Minnesota, my favorite club, guys, Minnesota. I have to go. I just have to go with this guy, guys. There's no way I wouldn't choose him, right? I just have to go with a young player from Russia. And that's none other than Kirill Kaprizov, right? 10 goals, 15 assists in 29 games played. That's 25 points in 29 games. Kirill Kaprizov leading the Wild in scoring. He has been very good. I would say he has been even better than we as Minnesota fans expected. And that says it all. He has been very good. Okay, then we have another team? Another team we have Arizona Coyotes. So what about Arizona? I decided to choose currently the leader in points, and that's Connor Garland. Connor Garland so far this season, 30 games played, 9 goals and 16 assists. That's right. So yeah, he has been playing very well as well. Connor Garland for Arizona. He has been one of their best players even last season, but this season he has been very, very good. The best player, I would say, overall in Arizona. What about Winnipeg? Winnipeg is a very, very interesting team. Of course, Mark Scheifele, currently the point leader, but I decided not to go with Mark Scheifele. Not always choose the guys with the most points, right? I decided to go with, you will see that in a second, I just must write here his stats. So yes, 31 games played, 16 goals, 14 assists. So I decided to go with Kyle Connor. Kyle Connor, currently the goal leader in Winnipeg. Of course, Mark Scheifele has, I do believe, 7 more points than Kyle Connor, but I just really love the overall game of Kyle Connor, and I think he's a very decent player, very good for Winnipeg to have him in their lineup. He has been just very great. So Kyle Connor, so far for me, the best player for Jets this season. 31 games played, 16 goals, 14 assists. Right now we go to Philadelphia. And Philadelphia, I have here none other than the youngster. Another youngster on the board, Joel Farabee. Or Farabee, however you want to spell that. So far for Farabee this season, 28 games played, 13 goals, 12 assists. Of course, the leader of Philadelphia Flyers, the point leader, is James van Riemsdyk. JVR with a fantastic season, but I really like Joel Farabee. He has been just absolutely great, I think, for Philadelphia. The youngster, I think this was not expected from him, but he has been. This really was the breakthrough year for Joel Farabee. What about Boston? Boston is a very, very fun team to watch. And of course, we know about the perfection line, right? And I decided to go with one of the players from that perfection line. And I decided to go with David Pastrňák, or as we can call him here in Slovakia or in Czech Republic respectively, David Pastrňák, that's how we call him down here. And so far his stats, 21 games played only, 14 goals and 12 assists. So as you can see, David Pastrňák, or David Pastrňák, he has played in 21 games, he has scored 14 goals and added 12 assists. So he has not played that many games as these other guys because he was injured. But he actually came back from the injury sooner than we, and also than I would imagine than Boston organization expected him. So far Pastrňák this season scoring at a just amazing level. Toronto, the big rivals, Boston and Toronto. For Toronto, I have the best player, let me just put here a mark. Yeah, I have Austin Matthews. And he, of course, has been scoring a lot of goals this season. Currently the goal leader of the whole NHL. 29 games played, 21 goals and 15 assists. Along with Connor McDavid, they both have 21 goals. So kudos to Matthews. He has been really good this season for the Maple Leafs, scoring a lot of goals. Added also a decent amount of assists. He has 36 points in 29 games played. Very good for Matthews. LA. Los Angeles Kings, I was thinking Cal Peterson or Andrzej Kopitar, one of them. I couldn't really decide. I was thinking for more than 2 minutes, but finally I decided to go with the captain, Andrzej Kopitar, the guy from Slovenia, not Slovakia where I live, but the guy from Slovenia. So far for him stats, LA, that's 30 games, that's 8 goals, but a decent amount of assists, 29 assists for Andrzej Kopitar. So he has 37 points in 30 games. So pretty good stats for him as well. What about Carolina Hurricanes? Well, the point leader is Sebastian Aho, which is my favorite player in the NHL, but I decided to go with another name, and it starts with T, so you can guess, guys, right? That's Vinny Trocheck. So Vinny Trocheck playing very well this season. 24 games played, 13 goals, 11 assists, 24 points for Trocheck in 24 games. I think he has been really very important part of that Carolina roster this season, and I feel like he would be a very important part of the Carolina roster also in the playoffs. So he has been playing very well. What about the Capitals, guys? Capitals. They did not disappoint their fans once again, so Capitals, they have been very good this season, as we all expected, but the best guy so far from Capitals, I think, is, without a doubt, Nicklas Backstrom. A lot of people are talking about Backstrom since this season. 31 games played so far for Backstrom, and 12 goals, 22 assists. That equals to 34 points in 31 games played. These are just some amazing stats, unless you are looking at the best player from Edmonton Oilers. And when you compare the stats of this player to Backstrom, then even the stats of Backstrom did not look that great again, right? So, the best player of Edmonton Oilers, yeah, I think you all know who that will be, right? No surprise here, literally no surprise. You just have to go with this guy. It's no one other than Connor McDavid. Yeah, these are his stats, absolutely phenomenal. I don't think we need to talk about McDavid that much. Yeah, just those stats tell you all. 34 games played, 21 goals, 39 assists. That's 60 points in 34 games. That's just it. What you need to know. Also, Leon Draisaitl, pretty good for the Oilers, but McDavid, he's just somewhere else. Okay. Florida Panthers. Florida really surprised me this season, guys. They have been playing very well. Even yesterday, I watched the Derby of Florida, right, between Panthers and Lightning, and they are playing amazingly. I don't know what's with that team, but this guy that I'm going to write on the board has to do a lot with the Florida's success this year. And it's the former player of Pittsburgh Penguins. And it's Patrick Hornquist, Patrick Hornquist, so far for Florida Panthers this season. 31 games played, 12 goals, 13 assists. So he has been very, very good for the Florida Panthers, and he is actually, according to me, one of the main reasons why Florida is playing that well. He has been very great in Florida. He's enjoying the play with Barco, Huberdeau, etc. Of course, Barco, Huberdeau, they have all more points than Hornquist, but I think that he has been a very vital addition to the Panthers roster as of last season. So yeah, that's why I chose Patrick Hornquist. Then, when we are talking about Pittsburgh, another probably a surprising name here for you guys. Only 4 letters in this name, and it started with an R. 32 games played, 11 goals, 12 assists, and that's Brian Rust. So of course, Sidney Crosby leading the Pittsburgh Penguins in scoring. We all expected that, that Sidney Crosby will be leading the Penguins unless he's injured or something other happens. But Brian Rust, really, he has been very good this season. So far, Brian Rust, 23 points in 32 games. These are just great statistics, and I think Brian Rust is a very, very important player for the Pittsburgh roster. He could score those goals. He's a very hard-working guy, so yeah, that's why I chose Brian Rust. What about Vegas? Well, I put here the captain, Mark Stone. So far this season, his stats: 28 games played, 10 goals, 25 assists, 35 points in 28 games. This has been a very, very good season indeed for Mark Stone and for the Vegas Golden Knights in general. And he's leading that team. He has a C on his chest. He's the new captain. He's leading the team. That's what you want to see when you are a Vegas Golden Knight fan. Okay, New York Islanders, just over here, the Islanders, and here is our second goaltender on the board, and it's Semyon Varlamov. For Varlamov, so far this season, he has played in 22 games. His save percentage is 92.3. And his goals against average, I will write it down here, is 2.17 goals against average. So Semyon Varlamov, he's after Grubauer, the second goaltender on this board, and he has been, of course, very, very good for the New York Islanders. All of these guys have been very good this season that I have them on the board because they are the best players from their team. Or, the most beneficial ones as Rust, Hornquist here, the players that really added to this team value. Okay, what about the Calgary Flames? Well, the Flames, I have here Lindholm. So Elias Lindholm so far this season for the Calgary, 32 games played, 8 goals and 20 assists. That's 28 points in 32 games. Elias Lindholm currently the point leader of the Calgary Flames, and yeah, he has been very good for the Flames this season. Again, I decided to go with him. I think he has been their best player so far. What about the Ottawa Senators? Of course, a very young team, a couple of young players that are producing a lot this season. You could choose from really at least 4 or 5 guys, right? I decided to go with Drake Batterson. Drake Batterson, of course, he had his really nice goal-scoring streak this season. So far, he has played in 33 games, scored 11 goals, and added 10 assists. So that's 21 points in 33 games for Drake Batterson. But again, you could argue for Tim Stützle, absolutely. You could argue for Thomas Chabot. Yeah, you could argue for Brady Tkachuk, absolutely. I decided to go with Drake Batterson, okay? It's just my personal choice, but you could go for all of these young guys that are currently on the Senators roster. What about Tampa Bay Lightning, the former Stanley Cup champions? For Tampa Bay Lightning, we have actually here the third goaltender on this board, and it's Andrei Vasilevskiy. Vasilevskiy, he has been very good for the Tampa Bay this season. as he is almost always basically. He has played in 24 games, and his save percentage is actually 93.3, which are just amazing numbers, and his goals against average is currently only 1.86, which is again just unbelievable number, right? Vasilevsky currently the front runner for the Vezina Trophy, I would think, and he has been catching a lot of pucks this season for the Lightning. Of course, you have there Steven Stamkos, you have Braden Point, Andre Palat has been very good. You have to go also with Victor Hedman, but I just decided to go with the goaltender Andrei Vasilevsky on this one. What about the Montreal, another team from the Canadian division? I have to go to another page. So Montreal currently, I decided to choose Tyler Toffoli. That's with Y. Okay, Tyler Toffoli. 30 games, 18 goals, a lot of them coming against his former team, against Vancouver Canucks. So for Toffoli so far, 27 points in 30 games, very good season, and of course he enjoys playing especially against these guys, against Vancouver Canucks. So yeah, that's probably why he has that amount of points, because he's playing this season maybe 8 games against Vancouver probably. So that's a lot. He's scoring against them, but to be fair, he's producing also against other Canadian teams, to put it the right way, okay? What about the Rangers? New York Rangers, their best player so far, you have to go with this guy. Artemi Panarin. Of course, he has had some rough times during this season because of the accusation in Russia. He had to stop playing hockey for quite some time, but he's back into the lineup. He's producing 19 games played, 8 goals, 17 assists. That's 25 points in 19 games. He has almost, I would say, the same point percentage as Connor McDavid, almost. Maybe not that good, but really, it is quite close. So Panarin, decent numbers. You have to keep into mind, yeah, he has only 25 points, but he has missed a lot of games. He has played only 19, so that's the reason why I went with Artemi Panarin. Columbus. The guys of John Tortorella. So far for the Columbus, the best player, I decided to go with this guy, Oliver Bjorkstrand. So far for him, 32 games played, 11 goals scored, and 16 assists. So that's for Oliver Bjorkstrand. Decent player for Columbus, very good year for him, and yeah, I decided to go with him. Very, very good season for Bjorkstrand as well. Vancouver Canucks, these guys right here. I was thinking about Thatcher Demko. He has been catching a lot of pucks this season. He has a very good stats, but I decided not to go with him. I was also thinking about Jack Hughes, not Jack Hughes, about Quinn Hughes on that blue line. But finally, I decided to go with current point leader of the Canucks, Brock Besser. So Brock Besser, so far this season, it's 35 games played, 16 goals, and the same amount of assists. So that's 32 points in 35 games played. So yeah, good for Brock Besser. Good stats, 16 goals, 16 assists, almost averaging a point per game. Great season for Besser out there. Buffalo, oh boy, Buffalo. Well, if I could have done this, I would write like nobody. Just leave it out, not fill it. Buffalo, they are in big crisis. Taylor Hall not playing well. Jack Eichel not playing well. Of course, Jeff Skinner, we all know that he's not playing well. So it's very hard to choose one guy who is playing well. But the best player for the Sabres, I decided to go with, you know what? Sam Reinhart. Why not? So Sam Reinhart, I cannot even write his name. 27 games played, 11 goals and 8 assists. I do believe that he's one of the point leaders for the Sabres anyway. So yeah, awful season for the Sabres. Sam Reinhart, probably their best player, probably. St. Louis Blues, I decided to go with a very good shooter, David Perron. He's one of my favorite players on the Blues roster. It's really fun to watch him, and he has a very high the hockey IQ. He always knows where are the other players of his opponents, also his teammates. He could pass that back, as you can see, 21 assists, but he could score those goals as well. 12 goals for him so far. That's not that much, but it is pretty good. And what about the New Jersey Devils, our last team on this board? I decided to go with the Jack Hughes. So we have the former #1 pick from the draft back in 2019, Jack Hughes, 29 games played, 7 goals and 9 assists. He's producing a lot more than, for example, Capo Caco in New York Rangers, and he has really taken that next step this year, this season. He has been very good for the New Jersey Devils, and according to me, he has been their best player so far. 29 games played, once again, 7 goals, 9 assists for the Jack Hughes so far this season. So that's it, guys. I hope this video doesn't last for that long. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, for all your support in these recent days. It has been really great to see the channel grow, and if you have not subscribed, guys, and you really like this video, please subscribe now. It would really mean a lot to me, guys. Thank you very much, guys, for that. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and stay safe in these very tough and challenging times, and I will be talking to you again, guys, probably quite soon. So stay safe, guys, and see you. Bye, guys.